Hello, everyone. Welcome to another coaster fight today in this amazing Theme Park Guy Productions YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be comparing between two of my favorite GCI wooden roller coasters, Lightning Racer at Hershey Park versus Thunderhead at Dollywood. These are right now my two favorite roller coasters from Great Coasters International. I love both these coasters so much, and I'm excited to do a comparison between these two to figure out which one is the superior roller coaster. So I have a whole bunch of different categories that we will be going to today. So with that being said, we're going to start off with our traditional category, the height. This is based off of the stats of the coaster. This is not an opinion-based category. So we were giving Lightning Racer a 2 for being 92 feet tall. It's really not that tall at all. I mean, it's kind of surprising. I mean, it looks taller than it actually is, which is something that I really like about these GCI wood coasters, is that they're actually taller than they look. Like, they're actually shorter than they look. Like, I don't know. It's pretty weird. So Lightning Racer is 92 feet tall, and then we were going to give Thunderhead a 3 for being 100 feet tall, which Thunderhead, yes, it also looks taller, but the thing with Thunderhead is that because it uses the terrain to its advantage, so that's why Thunderhead gets an advantage, is because of all that terrain. So that's why, but Thunderhead's getting a 3 anyways. So let's move on to our next category, which is the drop. We were talking about how good the drops are. This is not a stat category, and I'm giving both coasters an 8 for different reasons. Lightning Racer is getting an 8 because the two coasters race each other down that drop, which I find awesome. And then Thunderhead's getting an 8 because Thunderhead's drop, it's awesome. So starting 2019, which, yeah, I experienced it. I don't know. I don't know. But so now, like nowadays, because you have Wildwood Grove, you get a great view of Wildwood Grove, which Thunderhead is not incorporated with Wildwood Grove, and then you just plunge down. And I love GCI drops. They're fun. Curved drops I think, are the best on GCI roller coasters. While I do prefer straight down drops, I think the drops on these two coasters are pretty good. So yeah, and also one fun fact about Thunderhead is that the drop was retracted this year, which we'll get to that later once we hit the smoothness category. So let's talk about the speed of these coasters. I'm giving both of them a 4. Lightning Racer hits a top speed of 51 miles per hour, and Thunderhead hits a top speed of 54 miles per hour. So not really much of a difference, so I'm going to give both of these coasters a 4 for speed. Now let's talk about layout. Lightning Racer is getting an 8. And what I like about Lightning Racer's layout is that, again, the two coasters race each other, interact with each other, wind around each other. I think that's really cool. One thing with Lightning Racer is I feel like it could use a little more oomph in the layout compared to Thunderhead, which Thunderhead I'm giving a 10. I absolutely love the layout on Thunderhead. It's just a very compact coaster. It's like, pack, you know. It's like something like that. It's like very compact. It's like back to back to back. It's awesome. Plus, it even has a station flyby, which I find that awesome. I feel like it was like the beginning of many great GCIs. And Thunderhead, believe it or not, was actually ranked the best wooden coaster in 2004 in the Golden Ticket Awards, days before rides like El Toro were made or Lightning Rod, which is in the same park. So yeah, Thunderhead, I'm giving it a 10. I love the layout on Thunderhead. Also, Lightning Racer has a pretty good layout too. So now let's talk about the smoothness of these coasters. Lightning Racer is getting a 7. Lightning Racer was pretty smooth for a GCI. I did find some minor bumps here and there on Lightning Racer, but overall I found it to be a pretty smooth ride. Thunderhead I'm giving a 6. Now Thunderhead did receive the retracking that I was talking about in the drop category. However, one thing that I was kind of like, that's weird, was that it was pretty rough. Now the roughness of a GCI is probably better than the smooth side of Hurler. So Thunderhead wasn't really unbearable by any means. One thing I did find cool is that Thunderhead actually does have cushions, which was one reason that I absolutely love Millennium Flyer trains on roller coasters. So yeah, I think that gave Thunderhead a much more tolerable level. And I think the roughness actually kind of added to the coaster, believe it or not. But I know I'm crazy. It's another thing like Mind Blower or something like that. But yeah, I thought the smoothness was fine. Again, GCI is known for making smooth wooden coasters. these weren't the smoothest GCIs I've experienced, but they're still smooth. Like they're not awfully rough compared to something like Georgia Cyclone. But yeah, let's move on to our next category, which is transitions, and both are getting a 10. GCI is known for their incredible transitions, and both coasters achieve that. I'm giving them 10. Like they're just the transitions do not jerk you at all. They're done right. So let's talk about the elements category. We're just talking about how good the airtime is and how good the elements are on the coaster. So I'm giving Lightning Racer an 8. Lightning Racer has some pretty good elements. Some elements that I really like about it is those like little turns, the fact that it races each other, the little tunnel that it has like halfway through the ride, and the airtime hills are pretty good. They're not the strongest GCI airtime hills I've experienced, but they're not bad at all. And then Thunderhead's getting a 10 because Thunderhead has some fantastic ejector air throughout the entire ride. I couldn't believe how much airtime there was on the coaster. I was left speechless. And the drop even had airtime too. One thing that I did on Thunderhead was I tried to keep my restraint up, and I got so much airtime. It was an incredible experience. That's one of the reasons why I absolutely love Thunderhead, is that because you get just so much airtime, and that's why I love Thunderhead. So let's move on to our next category, which is intensity. And I'm giving Lightning Racer a 7 because I found Lightning Racer to be kind of intense here and there. Like there were some portions of it that were intense, like those little like twisty helixes, I guess, before the big tunnel. I found that to probably be the most intense part of the ride. Or like, the drops. But it does pull a G-force of 3.6. I mean, it's intense, I guess. But Thunderhead does provide some intensity. The reason why it's more intense is because it's so aggressive. That is one word that I would use to describe Thunderhead, is aggressive. And that's why Thunderhead is getting an 8 and Lightning Racer is getting a 7. So, let's move on to the duration category. And the thing with this coaster is that Lightning Racer has a duration of 2 minutes 20 seconds on both tracks, but Thunderhead has a duration of 2 minutes 30 seconds. However, if we're talking about the moment that you leave the lift hill until you hit the final brick run, I think Lightning Racer is significantly longer, which I find weird. I think the reason why Thunderhead is as long from when you leave the lift hill is because of the fact that you go through all the elements so quickly. So that's why I'm giving this slighter advantage to Lightning Racer, which I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, is because of that. And I'm giving Thunderhead a 7 because both coasters are pretty long, which is something I love about both coasters. Is that they're nice long rides, so I can't complain about that. So let's move on to our next category, which is pacing. And Lightning Racer is getting an 8 for this category. The one part that I was kind of disappointed with Lightning Racer is that the pacing wasn't the most consistent that I've had on a GCI. Like, I know that GCIs are notorious for how amazing their pacing is. And Lightning Racer had some pretty fantastic pacing at moments, but I don't know, I feel like some parts were just kind of slow. But that did not really take away from the ride at all. But it's just something I noticed. So I'm giving Lightning Racer an 8 because GCIs have some amazing pacing. Thunderhead, I'm giving a 10. Thunderhead provides the pacing. You feel like you're keeping that speed throughout the entire ride. There isn't a single dull moment on Thunderhead. You are just like going all over the place. I love it. It's easily getting a 10 for pacing. Now let's talk about theming. And I'm giving both a 2 for different reasons. Lightning Racer, I'm giving it a 2 because, well, Lightning Racer really doesn't really essentially have a theming, except for that little finish line. Because, like, as you're going into the final break runs on either track, you will go through a finish line, which I find really cool. And also, I mean, you could also say, like, the sides are kind of theming, the two different sides, what comes before Thunder, Lightning, like something like that. And then Thunderhead I'm giving it to because Thunderhead isn't probably the best themed coaster at Dollywood, but I didn't find that much theme. I mean, you kind of have the, I don't know what the theme is in Thunderhead. I was kind of confused. I don't think it really is meant to have really the biggest theming. If you want theming, then I'd say go ride something like Mystery Mine, Fire Chaser Express, even Blazing Fury. But, so Thunderhead, I'm giving it to. I'm sorry. Y'all can get mad at me for that. So let's talk about restraints, and I'm giving both a 10. If you know me, you know how much I love Millennium Flyer trains, and both coasters have Millennium Flyer trains. And Millennium Flyer trains, oh, I love them so much. It just make you feel like you're going so fast. That's why I love Millennium Flyer trains so much. I'm giving both a 10. If you know me, you know I'm a huge Millennium Flyer fan. Now let's talk about our last category, which is setting. So I'm giving Lightning Racer a 5. The setting on Lightning Racer is okay, I guess. I mean, I like how you get a great view of the water park while you're on the coaster. But I mean, I don't know. The setting's okay. And Thunderhead's getting a 7 because of the terrain that it uses. I really like the way that how Thunderhead uses the terrain, which is something that I also really love about Dollywood's coasters, that most of them use the terrain to their advantage. And also, one thing that I really like about Thunderhead nowadays is that as you get to the top of the lift, you can see you have a fantastic view of Wildwood Grove, which you can see Thunderhead from basically all over the place when you're at Wildwood Grove, which I find awesome. So, now the coaster fight has ended, and we do have a winner on our hands, taking the winning spot, taking the champion, taking the golden trophy of the GCI coaster fight is, that was a little drum beat for you, is Thunderhead at Dollywood. Congratulations, you have defeated Lightning Racer at Hershey Park. I think both coasters are absolutely awesome rides. I think both definitely serve their purpose in their respective parks' lineups. However, if we're comparing the two, I do find Lightning Racer to be the superior coaster, and I will agree. I think Lightning Racer is a superior ride, in my opinion. It is currently my favorite roller coaster that I've done from Great Coasters International, without a doubt. Which is not really so much because I still have yet to experience rides like Mystic Timbers and such, and Gold Striker, the whole shebang. You know what I mean? But yeah, that will end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below which coaster do you prefer. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, comment down below your thoughts. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more awesome videos and more amazing content in the future. Also, don't forget to check out Theme Park High Productions on Instagram for amazing content as well. Also, want to talk about something real quick. If you notice a difference in my channel, I have a new logo, so you guys can check that out now. I will see you guys next time. Have a theme-tacular day.